in my opinion, people should listen to these records like this one, which is probably not as popular as a lot of the other ones, you know, with open mind, because the guy is on another level. Imagine you can play all the instruments at a super high level. You can write all the songs. You can produce everything yourself. You can dance. You can sing. And then you can also sing with a low register, a normal medium register, and also this register. Like, what? How does someone have all that talent? It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, you know, Music and Words Unite is only possible because of viewers and supporters like you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Mark cry. Hello and welcome to another episode of Music and Words Unite. I am your co-host Troy, and with me I'm my friend and co-host Mark. How you doing, Mark?
Hello.
Hi, Mark. And today we are doing another Should You Listen to This episode, where usually one or both of us hasn't heard an album or is not that familiar with it, even if we heard it like once. We go listen to it and we say, should you listen to this or not? In this case, though, it's kind of like a mini album review, I would say. In this case, it's about this album right here, Parade by Prince. And the cool thing about this album is it has two covers, actually. Depends on which side you want. You know what I mean? You can go with the more risque one, which I don't think it's risque. I kind of prefer that one. But then you got this one. So, all right, Mark. So that's the album we're doing today. We recently did what we did Around the World Today recently, right? Yeah, and that album, we did a full track by track review of that one. So if you want like an hour long version, you know, go check that out. We also did the Rainbow Children, right? So that was a long one too. That was like a 90-minute episode. That was a deep dive. Today's going to be a shorter one because we have a lot of Prince stuff we want to do. So we're going to do some short ones, some long form ones, depending on the record. You know, his first album, For You, all the way up through Diamonds and Pearls. I'm not saying we're going to do an episode for everyone, but we're going to do an episode for some of the ones that Mark isn't as familiar with. And then we are going to do a tier list, and it will be pre-name change tier list. So that will be ranking every Prince album between Mark and I, what we think. And then, of course, there will be post that, and that'll be way in the future because there's a lot of records to listen to. So anyway, Mark, this is Parade. This is Prince's, I don't know which number it is, but it did come right after Around the World in a Day, pretty soon after there. 2 albums after Purple Rain. And I'm really curious, Mark, you know, how familiar were you with this album before we get into it?
I know Kiss, and that's probably the only track I know on here.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah, so, okay. So why don't you go first, Mark? Just tell me some of your initial thoughts on the album, and then I'll give my opinion. Overall thoughts, tracks that you liked, surprises, tracks that you didn't like. Just be honest, you know what I mean? That's what we're here for. So what was your review of someone who was newer to this record?
Okay. I mean, as a whole, I definitely like the album. I know it's a soundtrack album. It's very Prince, but at the same time, it's not very Prince. There's like a lot of like very interesting instrumentation on here. Like there's steel drums. There's like hand clapping, which is not that strange. There's like flute on a couple tracks. Not saying that's like out of the ordinary for Prince, but like it's nothing I've heard yet.
Right.
I'm sure he gets like insane on latter albums after this, but no, I think this album has a good flow to it. I like it definitely. There's a few tracks where I'm just like, I mean, I don't care too much about this. Okay. But there's a couple tracks that I really like too, like a decent amount that I would definitely come back to for sure.
What were some of your favorites? I'm just curious.
So I know it's actually like I think the shortest song on the album, but I like I Wonder You. I just like the feel of it.
Oh yeah,
it's literally like a minute and 40 seconds, but
okay, all right.
It sounds very like ominous, if that makes any sense.
It does, yeah. It's different. Yeah. It's way different, yeah.
I like that Wendy's
clip of that one
too, because I like Wendy's voice.
Yeah, that's a good one. Let's play a little clip of this one, or maybe the whole thing.
I wonder you.
proggy, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably why I like it.
Funky. Got it all.
Yeah, it's funky, but it's like there's so much other stuff going on too.
There's actually on this album, Mark, there's a 67-piece orchestra.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like there's literally an entire full orchestra on this album, and it's like I feel like some people could go and listen to this and not even like know it, I guess. But like
Yeah. I don't think a lot of this is that popular. Like in the maybe popular. I mean, Prince fans is popular. I'm saying outside of the Prince, hardcore fans, of course.
I mean, I listened to this album probably like I want to say 6 or 7 times all the way
Okay.
through.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good album that isn't listened to in segments. I think it's like an all the way through listen to. I think you get the better experience.
Totally agree.
Yeah,
actually,
because like the first couple tracks are good. Under the Cherry Moon's like pretty good. Girls and Boys is great. I like that song a lot. I like the it's very like very hypnotic. Life Can Be So Nice is really good too with the flute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then like the second half, like I think honestly like all of the tracks on the second half are pretty solid. You're gonna hate me. You're really, really, really gonna hate me because
why would I hate you?
I don't really like Kiss very much.
Well, I mean, I don't hate you, but maybe whoever's watching this will hate you. I don't know. But I don't hate you.
I mean,
okay. You can have your opinion.
Listen. I don't hate it. I don't even dislike it. I just don't really care about it.
Okay.
Especially in the ethos of like, Prince's like singles and like his big hits.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't really care about it. It's probably like the single I care the least about. I don't know why either. Cause like in theory I should like it. Cause it's like funky and like it's got like really cool guitar and like kind of like sweeping guitar. Like I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't know why.
Well, it's definitely one of his biggest hits for sure, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, what I mean is music is totally subjective, so you don't have to like everything everyone else likes. It's totally fine.
I know, but like usually I do though. That's why it's like so weird. Maybe like after 100 listens, I'll like it more.
Okay.
I really like another lover hole in your head. Is that did I say that?
That's a really good one. Yeah.
That song's awesome. And then Sometimes It Snows in April is a great ender too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I like most of the tracks on here. There's like, actually, I mean I pretty much do like every track on here. I don't think I dislike any of these.
All right. Well, I'm going to add on to what you're saying, Mark. April 17th, 1985 at Sunset Sound, Prince sat down on the drums, taped lyrics for 4 new songs on a music stand, and the engineer, and told the engineer, Susan Rogers, who's pretty like a famous Prince engineer for a long time, not to stop the tape when he stopped playing. Then he played through drum parts for Christopher Tracy's Parade, New Position, I Wonder You, and Under Cherry Moon, all 4 songs in one continuous take. No retakes. So what you're listening to this is a complete live performance, 4 songs in a row, Prince playing the drums straight through. That's what they kept. One shot. Yeah.
Like who is he showing off in front of? That's what I want to know.
It's just him and the engineer.
Like was he human? Did they like when they did the autopsy? No. Was there like robotics underneath?
No, I mean, I would imagine, obviously music and everything's totally subjective, right? This is just my opinion. Okay. So my opinion is my opinion. And if you don't agree with it, I don't care is what I'm saying. I think Prince might be the greatest, just pure musician that ever lived. Like I can't think of another musician that can do everything. You know what I mean? Like usually musicians are really good at a couple things, but to have someone that's good at literally everything also at a high level, I can't think of somebody else that does everything. And when I mean everything, I mean plays all the instruments, writes all the songs, sings everything himself, produces everything himself, mixes the music, dances super well, right? Plays like almost every genre of music can play, you know, from funk, hip hop, a little bit of hip hop, right? Funk, rock, jazz music, like a little bit of new wave, punk, R&B. It's
There's
got
like
it all.
Baroque
You know what I mean?
pop on this album. Like there's just like
I can't think of someone who's does all of that at the, like extremely high level, plays the guitar at extremely high level, the piano, the bass, the drums, like, and everything. You know what I mean? It's just like insane. And then, also is an incredible songwriter on top of it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and a credible pop songwriter and kind of non-pop music songwriter. Like he can do everything. I'm just telling you, I think he's probably the greatest overall. Like I've never seen anybody like that. So the point is, we should
There's
treat
nobody else like that.
yeah, we should treat. In my opinion, people should listen to these records like this one, which is probably not as popular as a lot of the other ones. You know, with open mind, because the guy is on another level. Like when you listen to the first half of this record, I would actually say it's not the most easy thing to listen to the first half of this record. It's kind of weird. It's got like a lot of orchestral stuff going on. It's got a lot of, but like this is his vision. But the more you listen to it, you're like, oh my God, this is like brilliant. I mean, it's like the guy's just, he's on another level is what I'm saying. So my favorites, my absolute, again, I like every song on the record. So, but I'm a Prince fan. Now, I don't like every Prince song. Don't get me wrong. There are some songs which I'm like, okay, you know, I'll skip those songs. But these guys written like, I don't know, over 1,000 songs. I don't know how many songs it is, but it's got to be some crazy number, right? So it's no way that you're gonna like every single song on 40 plus records. The point is, though, I like most of them, and on this record, I like all the songs. And some of my favorites, you mentioned I Wonder You. New Position is one that really grew on me, actually preparing for this episode. It's got like this cool James Brown vibe. Like if you imagine James Brown singing that song, to me, that's what he was trying to go after, like that vibe. Super minimalistic. In fact, I think this album was very ahead of its time because it was very minimalistic. And if you listen to stuff in the late 90s and early 2000s by like the Neptunes, they were channeling a lot of this minimalistic funk stuff going on when he has.
Sure, you know what? It's funny that you say it's minimalistic, and then you go and look at the personnel that played on this album.
Yeah,
it's an entire orchestra, and then you have Prince who plays, I mean, at least 10 different instruments.
Right.
You have all of his regulars like Wendy and Lisa. You have Brown Mark plays on here. Sheila E does like backing vocals on a track. Dr. Fink's on here. Like a lot of the regulars, like even Jonathan Melvoin's on here. Rest in peace. And it's like
Jonathan Melvoin,
and the album is like has such a minimalist feel to it. It's almost like insane. Like you think there should be like this entire wall, like textured wall of sound the whole time, but it's not.
A perfect example of that is like if you play, I'll just play a clip of New Position. It's just not a lot going on as far as like there's not a lot of instruments.
Still drums in there though.
Yeah, like, but it's like a funk track, you know what I mean? But it's just different sounding. It doesn't. Yeah, let me play a clip. Filled in by a lot of the vocal harmonies, actually, but it's pretty simple, I mean. It's like a steel drum with a kick drum and a snare, you know what I mean? And a bass line. And everything else is mainly just vocals, you know? It's pretty simple. But minimalistic, but it's funky, you know? So, but some of my I really like, I like That I Wonder You. I really like Under the Cherry Moon. I think that song's very good. Obviously, I like Girls and Boys, Life Could Be So Nice. But there's a couple songs that really surprised me going back because I hadn't heard this record in a long time. And now when I do these episodes, I got to talk about them. So it's like, it's a kind of a different way of listening sometimes, you know? So Venus de Milo, which is an instrumental. I freaking love that instrumental. That instrumental's awesome. I'll play a clip from that.
I really like Mountains a lot too. I forgot to say that.
Oh yeah, I'll play a clip for that. That was one that I liked even more preparing for this episode. I mean,
Yeah, that's
You know,
not what you think of when you think of Prince.
it's the dude's just like he's like an alien. He literally like not a human being almost. But yeah, Mountains. I'll play a quick clip from that. It's funky, man.
Love will conquer if you trust.
The groove is so funky in this song, man. I mean,
So
if you think about this,
on the 12-inch version of Mountains, there's an extended version that's 10 minutes long.
Oh hell yeah, I gotta hear that.
Me
I'm sure it's
too.
on streaming. I don't think I have the vinyl of the 12-inch, but
That would be cool to have on vinyl, the 12-inch single.
I'm sure it's available. I'm sure we could buy it from Discog somehow. It's probably not even that expensive. A lot of these old singles are
Probably
not that
not,
expensive.
no.
Yeah. Okay. So what's crazy about it is the most famous album obviously was Purple Rain, right? And that 1999 he was already popular, but Purple Rain obviously became like a megastar, you know, on the level at that time of like a Michael Jackson, like a super famous, you know. I don't know if anybody is ever going to be as famous as Michael Jackson as far as fame goes, you know what I mean? But Prince was at the time was probably like a number 2, you know, in popularity.
I would think so, yeah.
But then like he followed it up with like psychedelic rock album, basically, with a bunch of Beatles influence and like kind of bizarre, like that we did that album review, you know, and then he follows it up with this after that, which is like orchestral music with jazz influence, a lot of jazz influence, orchestral music, funk, hardly any rock music at all on this. I don't even think any of the songs. So there's like no rock music. There's barely any distorted guitar on this album. And so he's like, yeah, I can literally just play whatever music I want. Like, it's like, and he's just like, I kind of really don't care if you like, I don't know. His personality is like, it's not going to be as popular as Purple Rain. Who cares? And I mean, that's like I just don't think he really cared all that much. Apparently,
I think what I think is that obviously Purple Rain was like a blockbuster album and sold incredibly well and made him a lot of money.
Right.
So like after that, he was kind of just like, you know, I want to just like do like what I want to do, and I'm just gonna make these like crazy like psychedelic pop albums, and like I'm not really gonna care what anybody thinks. And I really respect that as a musician, especially one that's like a popular music musician that does that.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, I mean, do you really want to hear the same shit over and over? Like, all right, I understand like Michael Jackson, like Thriller is great and Bad is great.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like he really kind of just did the same shit afterwards, you know? Like, Prince just like I don't know. I can't even like describe these albums. There's also a really great quote by Chuck D that I want to say real quick.
No problem.
He said Prince turned off a lot of the black followers with the album, and I couldn't understand why. He said people don't want artists to endlessly repeat themselves, yet they can't tolerate change either. Prince changes all the time, always working on the public's imagination, always trying to keep ahead of them. And I think that's like a great quote because it's so true. It's like one of the other like things like with people, like they want something new, but they can't tolerate something that like they're not used to. And it's just like, I think this is a perfect example. People probably heard this and they're like, nah, we want Purple Rain, you know, we want like, you know, that shit. And they couldn't tolerate it at the time. But But of course, you know, 40 years later in hindsight, people are like, oh, this album's incredible. Like, yeah, you guys like probably should have thought that from the get-go, but you're stupid. So
Right.
Yeah, so that's just my take.
Right. No problem. Good take. So let's wrap it up. I'm going to play a couple quick clips from to me, the last 3 songs on the record personally are probably my favorite 3 but I like all the songs on the record. I am gonna play. I mean, most people have heard Kiss, I'm assuming, but I have to play the very end of that song because it is insane, like what he's doing in this. This part, I don't know how he sings it. Imagine you can play all the instruments at a super high level. You can write all the songs. You can produce everything yourself. You can dance. You can sing, and then you can also sing with a low register, a normal medium register, and also this register. Like, what? How does someone have all that talent? It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, listen to this.
Be your fool. Yeah, you don't have to be rich to be my girl. You don't have to be cool.
This part.
Rule my world. I never take your I just want your extra time. Your kiss.
Anyway, how is this person? Well, how is he real? Anyway, and then the chorus, and then the chorus to. I mean, this is just a banging chorus, man.
In my body, and you don't bend to the score. Why can't you learn to play the game, baby? Don't you know that you need more? You need another lover, like you need a hole in your head, baby. You know there ain't no other that can do the duty in your bed. Yeah.
I take it back. This is not a rock song. There's no rock songs on this album, I don't think.
Not really, no.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's that. And then of course, my favorite song on the record. I am Mr. Ballad, you know. I mean, this song, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, I do get vulnerable on this channel here and there. You know what I mean? Sometimes I let some of the ladies and gentlemen and whoever's watching, I let you in sometimes on the behind the curtain when I'm listening to music. And sometimes this song legitimately makes me cry a little bit. So this song is incredible, man. The song is something about passing away. And I was listening to this. By the way, if you have vinyl and you buy stuff on vinyl, I promise you, I have done, when it comes to Prince, I know the best pressings of every single Prince record. Don't buy a Prince album without coming and talking to me. That's all I'm trying to say, okay? I've put a lot of time into this. I've bought multiple pressings, and I compare 3 or 4 of them at a time. And I'm just nuts with Prince, and I give the ones to my daughter, the ones I don't keep or sell them. So the point is, this is the best pressing you can buy of this record, okay? And this is from 2016. So it is a repress, remastered by Kevin Gray. This record sounds amazing, actually. And when I was listening to this song on this pressing in my basement, I was blown away when this song started. I was like, oh my God. I'm going to play a clip of that. So, if you want a song about someone passing away, this is it, man. It's the freaking song. It sounds like crap through YouTube, man. I'm just listening to it. Like, doesn't do it injustice at all.
No, it really doesn't, unfortunately.
Oh my God, when it switches over, I get chills listening to this song, man. You can hear him moving in his chair. I don't know if you heard that. You can hear his chair moving. Yeah, it's interesting they kept all that stuff in. Yeah. This is one of my favorite Prince ballads. It's up there. I'm going to play the chorus.
Tracy called, I'm to call. I used to cry. life a tracing
I can't sing, but
ain't always the way.
here we go. Here we go.
Sometimes it snows in April. Sometimes I feel so bad, so bad. Sometimes I wish that life was never ending. And all good things they say never last.
All right, so that's a clip of that. One of my favorite Prince ballads. So this song just goes to show that I don't think this was a very popular song, but a lot of Prince, some of Prince's absolute best stuff wasn't popular. Like that's the cool thing about Prince. That's the difference between him and a lot of popular artists at the time, his contemporaries, is like you listen to those records. I mean, Thriller's an exception, of course. I mean, there's exceptions, right? But a lot of those records, like, you know, the hit songs are really good. There might be one or two other good ones, but then there's like a lot of filler songs on the pop records, you know? But like this guy was just... I want to do an episode, Mark. This I'm gonna wrap it up. I want to do an episode one time, maybe before we do that tier list, of Prince the Hits Volume 3, which is all B-sides, just a total album of only B-sides, right? So it's basically all the B-sides to these singles just in one collection, you know? You listen to that B-side record and you're like, oh, this is better than most people's discography. That's what I'm trying to tell you. When you hear that, you're like, holy crap, what the heck? So the songs weren't even on the albums. So yeah, we got to do an episode on that one. Maybe one of these kind of episodes. So, all right. So Mark, the question is, if you're watching and you never heard this record, should you listen to this? What do you say, Mark?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, do you like Prince? Do you like, you know, experimental pop music? Do you like a 72-piece orchestra, or however many it was?
Right.
Yeah, you should listen to this album.
I agree. I totally agree, man. I was excited to go back and listen to this because I hadn't heard it in a long time. It wasn't an album that I listened to many times, like some of the albums we'll be talking about in the future. But now that I went back and I probably listened to it 10 times before making this episode. So yeah, really enjoyed my time listening to this over and over again. Highly recommend it. Obviously, it's not as popular as some of the other stuff, but if you're watching this channel, you probably don't care that much about that. So go check it out. All right, Mark. Well, thanks again. If you're still watching, though, please give us a like. That would really help the video and the channel. Let us know what you think in the comments. Have you ever heard this album before? If not, please go listen to it. Let us know what you think. What are your favorites? We have a community Discord, which is basically a free music club where Mark and I, as well as other people, you know, that watch this channel, come in there and they talk about music and we have a good time just hanging out. It's 100% free. So if you want to talk about music with like-minded people, join the Discord. The link is in the pinned comment, excuse me. And of course, we would love a subscription if you're not subscribed. So, well, Mark, I think the next album after this is Sign of the Times.
You're correct, sir.
That's a very long album. It's a double album. So I'm thinking we should do, both of us have heard that album. So I'm thinking we should do a this style episode for that album in the future, like a shorter one. And spoiler, Mark, I guess this is a spoiler for the tier list episode. That is my favorite Prince album.
I didn't know that, actually.
I'm excited to do at least one of these mini episodes on that one. All right. So not that I think it's necessarily better than Purple Rain from a front to back, but it's my personal favorite. So I'll say that. All right. Well, thanks again, Mark. And until next time.
Sure.
See you later.
Later.